This podcast contains descriptions of extreme violence, body horror, and adult language. Please check the description for details. Viewer discretion is advised. Hey everyone, welcome back. We're gonna just get straight into it because last time we left off at a pretty gnarly moment, at a pretty big thing happening. So, let me set the scene from last time. As Lotus hears the sound of water being agitated and feeling briefly the ripple and brushing of something against them as it emerges from the water, you sense something is wrong simply from the way that that Vex is suddenly essentially convulsing in the water, and you get the lights up. You see that gentle lavender purple start to light up the place again as the irised doors start to open and filter in a little bit of green light as well. And you see sprouting from the water, emerging from various parts of Vex's face and head, including the holes which were made for the brain probes, are just a multitude of branch and tree-like veins sprouting up. And as you start backing up and start yelling for Quoth, you see her start to essentially rip herself up from this cyber spine, but it's coming with her. The wires and the connectors are snapping at the base, but the spine is too directly anchored into her to be ripped from her body, as some grotesque super strength has possessed her, and these veins just continue to spread and grow until you can't see her head at all anymore. And you're calling for Quoth, and Quoth, you're in the middle of doing a little bit of repair as you have come home, and this is like, the place where you do that. So first off, let me tell you straight away, Quoth, you're hearing Lotus calling out for help. That is just something you have your head on a swivel for, and you may fix 2 of your basic parts right now.
Yep. And that is gonna be, she's relocated her shoulder and put a little entrail back in.
Alright. Good. So, here's the deal, everyone.
Oh, man.
Lotus, Quoth, today, you are the players. And Vex, you will be, be playing the role of,
the boss encounter!
Yes. So you'll notice, Iris, if you take a look at your parts, I have added a number of parts to you.
Oh, I've been looking, yeah.
I will note as well that I have added notes that will pop up when you hover on them, so you can see what they do.
Yeah, this is fucking insane. Oh my god.
I will note as well, Iris, you do not have to be worried about your journal being destroyed, because that was part of you disrobing.
Yeah,
you are fully naked right now. You also do not have your gun. I have removed the gun from your parts list for this combat.
And fucking thank God for that, quite frankly.
As for everyone else, please note, I have a big battlefield effect here. It costs extra AP to move in or out of Tartarus or Hades, which are the red marked zones.
Yeah,
here.
the red and the dark red. Okay.
This is not necessarily just going to be a matter of, taking down Vex. There is a number of ways that you'll be able to resolve this. First of all, if you can successfully destroy all of the parts on Vex's body that are capable of moving her, then I will just assume that that you are able to escape and leave her in the room and thus deal with the situation as need be. So that's your first win con. Second, if you can destroy, you'll notice that I have highlighted a particular new part on Vex's body, which is the cyber spine.
There are several.
Yes, there's a couple.
Yeah, there's a few. There's an amount.
The cyber spine is the main one I want to draw your attention to. That is the device which you have plugged her into, and which is currently keeping her in this enraged state. If you can destroy that part in particular, then the combat will resolve a lot quicker. So every time you're hitting her torso, I will give you a roll to attempt to target that specifically. Not normally a mechanic, but I'm making it one here. And last of all, you'll notice that on the map I have placed a marker for the control room. This is essentially the place where you monitor what's going on with the subject in the room at any given moment, and thus has a number of controls. First of all, for 1 AP, if you are at the console, then you can unlock or lock the door into this room at a cost of 1. You can drain or flood the room at a cost of 2 AP. And draining and flooding the room, you do not have to have it already drained for you to be able to flood it. You can add more water to the room. You can make the water go even higher.
Quoth can drown me.
Yeah, you can just drown. You can all drown,
I'd like to drown.
And there's also the alarm, which can be done at 1 AP at rapid timing, although that is primarily not going to be of use just because the alarm is basically for when Lotus needs to get a hold of Quoth's attention specifically. You can turn the lights on or off if you want to make it harder for everyone to see what's going on and hit each other. And last of all, the most pertinent one, which is our final win condition, is you can electrify the water. It costs 3 AP to do so, but there is 3 different levels with which you can electrify. The specifics of that we'll get into if you get to the console, but the overall broad strokes of it is you can either just use it to stagger people who are in the water, or you can use it to attempt to knock people out who are still standing in the water. So that's probably going to be one of the more surefire ways to end this combat, if you can time it correctly. So yeah, that's what we're working with.
Quoth can electrocute me.
Sounds very good.
Oh, and to further complicate things as well, the vents on the map, those can only be traversed by Quoth, because of your vertical movement.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So by all means, that is where we're at.
That is obviously not something that I have the capability to do, and I also have 1 attack on my sheet, so at the very least I think that my best bet is attacking the spine for the sake of it.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. If,
Can you stay here with me to make sure I don't die?
Yes, I can. If we find a good
Find
time,
a free second here.
If we find a free second, I'll scramble my way into the vents.
Last bit of flavor and information before we jump into this. As Vex finishes wrenching herself from this system, this device, you watch as her arms are flexing and tensing, and you see the veins and arteries beneath her skin start to grotesquely bulge outwards as they spiral outward from her chest and push through her with every heartbeat, which is now audible just from standing near her, each heartbeat rippling the water around her. And as these veins are bulging and curling under her skin, they finally reach her arms, as you see, as if on industrial strength springs, her scythe blades are forced to unsheath from both her forearms. And this time, instead of just her regular blades, we see something new. Attached to the base of each one is a new module that whirs to life and begins to hum with this lethal tone at an intensely high pitch, as the new high-frequency modules in Vex's blades begin to violently shimmer and shake the water they brush near to. And with that, combat begins. And at a whopping 15 action points, we are starting with Vex. I want to emphasize to you, you do not currently see Lotus and Quoth. You, for all intents and purposes, don't know where you are. All you are seeing, all you can feel is this vague haze of blood and anger and sheer... You feel so betrayed. There's this sense, you can feel it now. It's as if it's washing back over you, running back through your nervous system like some horrible jolt of electricity, but it doesn't fade. Olivia betrayed you. Olivia betrayed you, and you trusted her. And you can sense that she's somewhere here. If you could just get at her. What do you do?
As the new modules on her arms activate, Vex properly, just reflexively, as someone who's done it 10,000 times before, just her scythes extend from her arms, whipping around herself, as though almost using them to try to, like, touch, to feel, to, like, get a sense of her surroundings at all, but she only meets water and empty air as she slashes them around, and just screams. A scream that shakes your soul. She has just been completely eclipsed by this anger, and this fear, too, I think, as she just doesn't even know what's going on. I think as she's slashing these scythes around and, like, properly, like, has, if there were any doubt before, has made it clear that she is hostile and that she is coming for Lotus. I think that as she slashes the scythes, she doesn't find Lotus with them immediately, but instead, some of the veins from her face lash out instinctually as well, as she's not fully in control of them. So I'm gonna use Scarlet's Spear. Quite fittingly against Scarlet.
Oh, on me? You have the audacity?
Quite fittingly turning your own name against you. I think Scarlet Spear towards Lotus, yeah. Let me make that D10 roll.
With a +1 because of your normal bonus that you get. Oh boy!
What happy fucking day!
So
what a great fucking start.
So we're opening up with a true blue crit because you got a 10 and you do actually have a natural +1. Lotus, unless you do something about this, this is gonna go wherever Vex feels is gonna hurt you most.
Blankly, she holds one of her two proper hands to her heart, and clutching onto something, anything that would make her calm down, she does the thing that Vex specifically requested. She reaches for song lyrics, and she clutches onto an old piece of paper given years ago now by a much, much younger Quoth. So said the man on the first blue street, with nothing to his name, can't turn on. And then, before she can even finish the second line, she was never one for combat, but she hates to say it, this is her cure, and she needs to clutch it with everything she has. If you will remind me, is a 7 the point of, like, that hits the chest?
The hierarchy is 10 head, 9 arms, 8 body, 7 legs, 6 you choose. Anything below that is a miss.
This is also an 11.
This is also an 11 currently, yes.
I'm going to use Petal. Her head is faced towards the beast, but her body is facing away, such that all of her arms, mechanical and flesh, can get the best reach. The mechanical ones, which Petal is, move with a terrifying accuracy and response, and simply move the attack anywhere that will hurt less than her head. That's her arms, and there's a lot of good stuff there, but I'll deal with it.
So, you don't even have to think of it. Each of these pairs of arms has been matched and mapped to previous simulations that you, or more accurately, recordings of yourself going through martial arts routines. And as a result, each one can simply respond to your ocular stimuli, plugged into the back of your head, and just do their job. It's not even an instinctual level of deflection, as this scarlet spear of a hardened blood vessel is shooting towards you, and you can tell that this thing is aiming to kill, and the arms just deflect, they block, they bring themselves in the way, and you take 1 damage to the arms as you do so.
I'll take that to the fist.
One of your cybernetics just as you hear it spark off.
So that has chain attack 1 also, I'm reading. So the spears are not done just yet. Alright, I will make another roll, and of course, yeah, Savvy was kind enough to make this still count as a melee attack for me. How nice of him. So yeah, it's gonna be D10 with a +1 again. Oh, but okay, very bad this time, thankfully.
So, here's the thing, right? I'm going to react. So, Quoth, you know, after Lotus's call, has been crawling through the vents, and, was there just in time, to see Lotus have one of her, you know, fists skewered, but she's not gonna let that happen again. So, seeing the moment, she's going to wire reel in, which I believe is going to cost me 4, yep, to just move in.
Does that let you move up to 2?
Yeah. Oh, wait, hold on. Actually, is it 2? No, it's just 1. Sorry, yes. It's 0 or 1. Well, I do want to get closer, so I am still going to move 1 at least, so I will spend that 4.
I will use one's many charms in order to use my foot at 0 cost to hinder 1.
Okay, so that puts that 2 back down to a 1, meaning that it is now a critical failure, meaning that this attack will hit one of the available enemies, and since it's only Vex on the battlefield, it means that it hits herself. Would you like to describe how this happens? Because you have some special shit here.
She, with the reaction speed that can only be obtained through mechanical means, a hand reaches out and grabs the weird vessel spear. She has seen a weakness, and she will use it for all it is worth. With no hesitation, every single arm locks around the spear and throws it directly back at the monster. And furthermore, it hurts a little bit more than usual because with Lotus, the only way to win. All enemies that roll a critical failure within the same area as you have the damage of the resulting attack increased by 1.
Huh. So, Vex, pick a location and you're taking 2 damage to that location.
Well, it's just gonna be my entrails, I'm afraid.
Honestly, your buffer's down. I'm happy with that.
One of them.
So, yeah, the spear comes streaking in. you grab it, and you go to throw it back, and you realize that it's actually still attached. It's just this long... You couldn't see it in the low light. These aren't being thrown out as projectiles. They're just like long fucking range attacks, and they get whipped back into the cluster straight away, but you don't let it phase you. You've got a hold of it. It's as solid as metal, and you do all the same. Aim and throw it into her abdomen, and there is this scattering of blood across the water, which you watch as the droplets of blood are like essentially aerosolized by the high frequency vibrations coming from her blade as they pass by them. Vex, it is still your turn.
It's still my count, I'm afraid, and she screams and writhes backwards in pain as one of her own veins pierces into her, but in this terrible haze, her instincts are still present, and she now knows the more exact rough direction Lotus is standing in. And she takes a crouching stance, and it is so upsetting, so infinitely upsetting to me that the first person you're the first person I'm gonna use this expensive as hell new part I bought on. But her sides begin humming, like almost flickering with how quickly they are vibrating and almost sparking as the high frequency module activates, and I'm gonna use that on Lotus. I really hope this fails. Here's this. Oh my god, no!
Iris, I have a very important question. What range is that weapon?
It's fucking 0.
And with no hesitation, with the same instinctual level of speed that she has come to get used to with all of these enhancements that she has, I am going to use Hopper, a rapid timing move 1. This will move me into, I believe this one is Tartarus, and I believe that will cost 1 AP, because I believe this is free otherwise. But, are there any complaints with that?
Yes, I'm afraid that, one of Vex's new things she has in this form is the Crimson Grasp, which effectively is a mecha tentacle rapid 0 cost range 0 to 1 hinder move 1. And as you try to hop away from this, literally, like, the veins that you deflected only moments ago, a larger, thicker one, they almost merge together into the trunk of a tree as they reach out and grab you, holding you in place.
And yet, as they do so, there's naught there to grab, as it was too instantaneous. Hopper has the unique quality of not being being immune to the hinder move maneuver.
Thank fucking God, to be honest with you. I was gonna be very bad. Well, and you know what? I didn't know that, so I think that counts as having used it for this count, at least.
Yeah, by all means. So, I feel that's fair.
Yeah, I genuinely did not know that, so there you go. Alright, then in that case, yeah, go, get out of here, please run.
She bursts into there is a pillar of water where she once was, and she moves swiftly into a smaller chamber. Quoth, where are you? This is important!
Yeah. So since Lotus used a move, I'm going to use a funny skill that I have. Everyone's favorite little skill, follow. As Lotus calls out to Quoth, she, just descending from the ceiling, appears and moves 1. So I will spend my...
I hate dual bosses in Souls games, dude.
Your previously what we had seen was simply just aesthetic cybernetic heels springing from your feet. You modified them, and they have this potential to just send you as if on a recoiled spring wherever you need to go in an instant, and it has saved you. And in that moment, you see that wicked blade, you hear the scream of the high-frequency vibrations slash exactly where your neck would have been. And you see that there is even a moment where you swear you see that pillar of water, it parts as if to imply your silhouette getting decapitated. And you see that there was another blade that would have followed up, just as deadly, just as lethal. And you realize exactly how dangerous those things are.
And now, my count is tied with Quoth, so how are we gonna handle that?
So, typically speaking, the way it works is that your actions will occur simultaneously one way or another. Normally, I as the GM would tell you what the enemies are doing first as like just a, it's a game. We do that anyway. We do that for the sake of like favoring the players. On this occasion, I'm treating Vex as the enemy. So Vex, please state your intentions first.
I think my intention is going to be to... So they're one range from me right now. So I could do that again. I think, but you know what? I want to use this other funny new part I have, charge, where while I am moving, I can spend the charge, which is rapid 1 cost, to make a melee attack 3 before or after the move. She, still submerged in the water, like partially, just starts sprinting towards Lotus, and I'm gonna try to... I'm going to move, and then make a melee attack 3 when the move ends against Lotus.
Okay.
So Quoth, if you would tell us what you're doing, and then we will resolve them both at the same time.
She is going to respond to this by just using her own mecha tentacle to hinder your move. Her 2 thicker metallic arms that she keeps on her back normally reach out, and I'm just gonna try and hinder Vex's movement.
Unfortunately, I have another funny part on my legs, which is simply titled Unstoppable. Vex is immune to hinder move, and stagger if desired.
Do you desire?
I, her player, do not desire, but she very much desire, I am afraid to say.
Alright, well, despite the fact that that was technical reaction, I'm gonna say that was the only thing I was planning on doing.
Yep. Is that just happening?
That is viable, yeah. So strictly speaking here, this is like ultimately not that big of a thing. It's just like a mechanical like concern. I would not necessarily force you to spend that reaction having if you knowing this, but a viable tactic here is to use your spine part to delay your turn, essentially, which will mean that you get to do some shit next. However, that does mean Vex is going to do her stuff. So please make your roll.
Alright, this is against Lotus. Oh, thank God.
Perfect.
Okay.
Well, I think I do want Quoth to be the one to do this. Seeing that the tentacle has not restrained you or Vex in any
let me describe that. Let me lead in for you here.
Yes,
why
please.
not? So you go to do a maneuver that you've done a number of times with these huge mechanical legs of yours that have the longer reach, the more powerful grasp. You go to either just quickly strike a thigh or trip or grab an ankle or something of that nature, but as you go to grab them and you just like with all of your might go to like pull one of her legs to the side to trip her, she just like keeps sprinting, and as she drags that foot forward, it is just snapped out of its grasp, as if it is nothing, as if there is this just completely no concern for anything that might hinder her. And you see, because you're standing outside of the main dome of this chamber at this point, but still submerged in the outer ring of the water. You see her charge forward from out of one of the iris doors, as she goes in with this strike.
And as she is going in for the strike, she, using her right hand, just reaches out, and she, her wing pack big legs, are all connected throughout her body in some manner. And this includes her enhancing her grip strength, as I am going to use arm vice to hinder 2.
Yeah, you see these blades, these wicked high frequency knives coming in. And while your strength may have failed you in the longer reach of the greater leverage on her part, you quickly readjust, assess that she has this new super strength, and you know where you can contest her every day on that. You grab her fist, stopping the blade before it can even reach you, and you just, like, twist her arm, grab her elbow, and, like, rather than going to break her arm, just go to ram the blade into her.
Yeah, as I reveal that, Quoth has this funny, perhaps not quite unique effect, where all enemies that roll a critical failure within the same area as them have their damage of the resulting attack increased by 1.
Penny, if you'll permit me, the only way to win
is to not play.
So, Lotus, would you quickly give us an additional little bit of flavor as to how you're helping with this?
Perhaps even better than the enhancements can provide. They can read each other very, very well. With no hesitation, one mechanical arm grabs onto the base of another, which grabs onto the base of another, and strikes like a whip around where Vex is. But the arms are retracted too fast for a counterattack, and placed back in their associated slots before one can blink.
A concussive force, which normally, perhaps not enough to damage on their own, but that doesn't matter. All you're trying to do is make this blow even more potent, as simultaneously with that sense of how each other fight. You've been sisters, and your whole lives, and you've been doing this nearly as long. And it's as she drives her own blade into Vex's body, at that exact moment, the whip collides with her back. As you hear the clanging of that metal against the the makeshift cybernetic spine that has grafted itself to Vex's back. Vex, please take 5 damage to a location of your choice.
5?
Because your attack was a melee attack 3.
Oh,
yep.
Man.
And we've increased it by 2.
Well, now I legitimately forgot about this for the first attack, so I need to ask this. It's very important, right? I assume Vex still has her regeneration, yes?
You do.
So I could retroactively do it against the last attack as well if you want, but I will most assuredly be using it against this as well. In which case, if I count it retroactively and use it this time, I will essentially be taking 3 damage to a location. And I would be at this count now. So yeah, literally you see Vex's body repairing itself even as, I'd say you dig into it, but you are forcing her to dig into herself. I'm just gonna I guess I'll just get rid of the 3 feigned parts, because as far as I know, they are not doing much for me.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think you turn her arm and literally use her own scythe to slash through the majority of the veins surrounding her fucking head, not doing any actual damage to the flesh, well, to her core beneath it, but you slash through the majority of them.
It is as this happens, you, with your combined efforts, manage to redirect one of her arms to just send a cascade of writhing veins all over the battlefield, where I am going to reveal to you something that happens when the veins get damaged.
Oh god, all 3 of them got damaged as well.
You may use Hinder 1 at cost 0.
Fuck.
So I will note that each of them, they are a one-off. Once you use it, that one, like, done for the combat, basically.
Okay, one.
So
but once each. So 3 times per combat, I can do that. Okay.
Yeah. And I will also hold on. I will also place 1, 2.
Oh no!
3.
Are they alive?
Yeah, they're still alive. Yup.
So you watch as these veins get sent sprawling all over the chamber as there are these splashes. As you see them writhe, and you expect them to calm down at some point, to be rendered inert, and then you remember there was that brief mention that there's something strange about the circulatory system, that they act as nerves. They may not be fully sentient. You suspect that is not the case at all, but they may just have enough nervous matter within them that they can just keep going. As you see these strange branch-like serpentine veins start to coil themselves up like serpents and start to move on their own. Alright, let me add them to initiative real quick.
Oh boy.
Oh, man.
So they do start at 7 though, is the thing, because they are oh sorry, my apologies, 6, because they are basically, they don't like have any bonuses to AP or anything like that. But they yeah, no, they are around now. You watch as there are these new entities around you. Quoth, what are you thinking right now? You see as all these things are coiling up around you, Quoth, you can see that they are now acting on their own volition, and you realize that this situation is bad as well. You may be one of the only people who can get to that control room without having to unlock the door. And you watch as, like, Vex kind of staggers back as she has finished cutting off her own body parts, and a voice emanates from her that you could tell must be hers, but there's a different quality to it. It's as if there's it's like a different accent, a different way of speaking, and you hear her, through gritted teeth beneath the mess of veins, just go,
I won't let you hurt her.
What do you do?
Well, I think for certain that Quoth doesn't want to leave Lotus right now, right? Not until, at the very minimum, these fucking veins have been dealt with. You know, out of the two of them, she is the one more used to, you know, going out into the city, and, you know, dealing with this kind of thing. Not that she doesn't think Lotus isn't strong, but she's the one more used to it. So until a point where she thinks Lotus will be mostly fine, you know, she's gonna stay around here to at least assist, and then probably zoop to the control room a bit later. For now, I think we're gonna make this short and sweet. We are just going to scissor hands the vein that is in the same that's in Tartarus.
In the outer ring. Yeah.
Never mind.
Do you have any? I mean, you would need to support 4 in order to successfully do anything about that.
It would need to be a support 4, and frankly, I'm scared of what Vex has in store, or these things.
All right, in which case, yeah, you just clamber over on your arms in order to try and take care of this problem before anything happens. And you go for the strike with them, but they just plunge into the water as it almost quite literally serpentines out of the way of the strike. You do still spend the action points for that. Lotus and Quoth, it is your turns again.
May I request Quoth go first?
Fair enough. I was gonna ask if Lotus had a plan, but you know what? We'll just scissor again. Because you know, it worked so well the first time. Do you want us to both decide what we're doing first and then roll, or
That's probably
decide
that's
roll?
probably best practice. Yeah. So Lotus, what do you want to do here?
I'm going to be voice affecting her.
Okay. So that is how much of an action is that?
That is a rapid 2.
Yeah. So you can still use it. Go for it. What do you say? You uniquely have the ability to. You are used to this. This is like something that you are used to doing. Is in bad situations, talking people down. What do you say?
I won't let you hurt her sticks out in her mind like a thorn. That doesn't make sense. She isn't wanting to hurt Vex, of course, for 1,000 reasons. But she is her. Lotus is one for conspiracy theories, and her mind grips onto an odd realization, one that she will readily put down as quickly as she picked up. There's a second person there. If she can get the second person on her side, then potentially she can do something to stop this. She reaches for song lyrics. So said the girl on the second green road, picking and prodding at a new caught toad. So said the man in the big red house, with nothing gently twitching but for one fat mouse.
I would like you to roll this conversation check, please. But Vex, you're in this haze, this anger. You feel yourself moving. You're still in this dream. You're still in this memory. You see the white holes around you. It's all just too much. You can see her. She's nearby, and you feel hope with you. You think, and you hear that singing. As if muffled. What comes to mind when you hear the singing? Why is it comforting to you?
Vex has never, and likely will never, tell anyone this, but day after day, in the hours, the days at a time, of going on these painful, agonizing missions, of suffering through the drudgery of getting bossed around, screamed at, the frictions, the motions, the flow of this city. She can handle it, but no one truly is inhuman, no matter how much they convince themselves otherwise, or enhance themselves to stack improvements upon it. And she just wants to get to sleep sometimes. And one of the things I wrote down about Vex before we started the game is that to help herself sleep when it's all just too much, she will put on some music and quietly sing to herself. It's not because it reminds her of anything, obviously. It's not because she particularly even loves music more than the average person. It's just something she's found that's soothing. And I think she hears this muffled singing in the midst of this dreamlike haze, and I think she's biting her lip. Blood is flowing down her chin and jaw. She wants to find Olivia. Moreover, she wants to find answers. Why does she even feel like this? What did Olivia do? What is going on? But I think she pauses just long enough to focus again on hope instead. And I don't necessarily expect an answer in this, in whatever state she's in exactly, but I think what is going through her mind is, what did you do to me? How could you do this to me? What is going on? Where am I? help me get out. Help me reach you. Help me get out of this.
You turn and you feel and you hear, you think you're saying it to her, you think something of that nature, and this is a sentence which comes out in response, not only to you in your mind, but out loud. Quoth, Lotus, you both hear this as well as as you start singing. I won't let her do this to you again. And you, I'm gonna need you to make a roll, and this is gonna be contested with Hope.
Just a flat D10.
Yep.
Oh, good.
Okay. I think I'm gonna rule that you stop for just long enough. There is this moment where you are torn. You can feel that there is this struggle. You look one another in the eyes in this memory, and you're expecting to see anger, as if she is. You want to see something that will explain what was done to you. And instead of anger when she says that, you see in her eyes just tears. Just total sorrow. That statement, I don't want to let her do this to you again. She's pleading. Lotus, could you please make this conversation check with just a flat roll, please? Just normal flat roll.
Oh,
It's
Lotus.
Oh boy.
I'm pretty good.
It's a 10,
Okay.
baby.
Right, so combat is not over. However, you watch as she says that and grasps her head, the hands plunging into this foliage of crimson veins and disappearing into them as she kind of stumbles backwards, the water lapping up against her calves. Hey, Vex, could you please clear a D5 of bloodthirst, please? And I will clarify, you are not out of this blood rage yet, and you may not start re-rolling because of this. So roll me a D5. 2. Clear 2 bloodthirst, please. And could you please specify which bonds you are clearing that from?
I don't have a bond with Lotus or Quoth yet, correct?
Correct.
I'll clear 2 with Stitch.
You are staring at one another, and then as if you had just been not paying attention to it, you suddenly become hyper aware once more of the singing as it resonates through your mind, and you get this flash of you sat in the morgue again with Stitch as he comforted you, of him in the operating room with you, again comforting you. You see all of these moments where not just you, but Hope too, registering these things and them washing past her as she almost seems to grasp her head and wave her hand in front of her aggressively, as if trying to dismiss the memories herself. And she turns and just goes, "We can't let her get away with it." And you turn and you see, for the first time, down one of these distant hallways, standing in place of where Lotus is, a woman in a lab coat. And I'll leave that there. As we go to Quoth, please roll to attack this vein monster.
Yeah.
Hey gang, welcome to the first of 2 breaks during this episode, on account of the fact that this is absolutely huge. I kept it this long because, 1, it's a pretty massive combat which has a lot of importance for a number of reasons. So I thought I'd put 2 in, just to give people more places to kind of like ground themselves, locate where it was they were last listening, that kind of a thing, in case it doesn't, whatever app you're using doesn't remember. And also, just this is a long episode, and I feel like 2 breaks is appropriate just to give us some extra stopping points to catch our breath, With that being said, this episode was absolutely a huge task to undertake in regards to editing. Anyone listening to this on the public release won't actually be seeing what was going on my Patreon, where I kind of left this, I knew I was leaving it a little last minute, but I didn't really understand exactly how much extra work this would be. I thought it would be like 2, episodes worth of work, but as it turns out, the specific nature of this one, it ended up being an absolutely monstrous task. The patrons actually got a hold of a couple of extra bits and pieces as a way of just tiding them over. Namely, we have a couple of the assets which I've been using in the maps that I use with Iris. As much as the maps are not particularly fancy, I did want to make a couple of unique things just to help kind of delineate like rankings of enemies and just identify where events were taking place. It's all a lot of simple stuff. But if you want to have a hold of anything like that, I have some Heart of Hope unique map markers, event markers, and gang ranking like markers over on my Patreon. So if you want to go and see those and also get hold of the next episode ahead of time, then go over to my Patreon on patreon.com/eternal_savvy. Again, that is eternal_savvy. And you can get hold of all of that stuff, as well as seeing episodes ahead of time and just some more sneak previews into the stuff that I used to run this game. It really, really helps out. And you can get that stuff for as little as $1 a month. You will get anything to do with Heart of Hope for that $1. But you can support me for more if you just want to be extra super cool and just help out the show and make sure that there is some financial support going behind all of this. And if you want a more direct thing that this is going towards, then we are using this money for making this show better. Primarily through buying commissions from human composers and artists for music. You will have been hearing it in previous episodes and stuff. We have a number of really cool composers, and I will actually be uploading that music to my Patreon as well. So yeah, supporting the podcast is directly supporting other human artists just beyond myself as well. And of course, you can see the fan art carousel on screen right now. If you are on the YouTube upload, I'm going to leave this break here and leave the rest of the shilling for the second one. I thought it'd just be a nice time to do a little extra talking about the process of what took place during this one, because man, this was a particularly exceptional workload for this one. There is a lot that goes into this, at least in terms of actually cleaning this up, getting it really working, which was certainly added onto by the fact that we actually had to re-record a couple of parts of this episode. So I ended up having to do kind of some chopping and changing and splicing in order to get this into the state that you're hearing it today. So I also, just quickly before we move on, want to give a massive thank you to all of my patrons who have been, continuing to support the show, continuing to be excited for what comes out next, and very patient with this particular episode's edit coming out, because it did, in fact, not fully get done on the Monday. So, thank you so much. I now know what the workload looks like in future. Super appreciate it. I'm gonna let you get back to the episode, and I'll see you in, 45 minutes or so. Bye-bye.
I think it is important to note that Quoth is notably silent. She, isn't reciting any of her poetry. She's, for lack of a better term, locked the fuck in.
Mm-hmm.
See?
Damn. If you support that, you can turn it into a crit.
What the fuck are these rolls?
which I will gladly do with the forearm, which now costs 0.
Yeah, I think you literally, you're in the middle of all of this, of, like, you know, singing, and your arms having their own, like, you know, protocols that they are just running off, not even on instinct, but just on a completely different level. And Quoth backs up to make this strike, which you could tell is very clearly going to be lethal, and literally all you do is one of your arms just taps her on the shoulder as if to say, like, a little more to the left, and you, on instinct, oblige. And Quoth, how much does that support it by? Is it just 1?
It is just 1.
Okay, so this is a horror, which means that the dismember quality instead just doubles your damage, which means that is a now a melee attack 2, which is doubled to 4.
That seems okay.
It is, you know, it's just a little bit okay.
This is against the veins, yes? Just to be clear?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, it's the one in the same zone.
Then I'm not gonna try to stop you because I don't think Vex is mentally present enough to.
No, you wouldn't. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You do not quite kill it. But tell me. That being said, I'll give you this. If you want to support yourself, you can wipe this thing.
I think that's worth it. I'll spend 1 to also forearm support myself.
Okay. Yeah. In which case, that is actually a 3 damage attack elevated to 6. Yes. Yeah. You go in and tell me how you fucking tell me what you do to this thing.
So these veins are like weird, like literal veins, but coiling around and swimming in the water.
There's some midpoint between tree, vein, and serpent.
Yeah. As she, you know, is about to make the attack, Lotus redirects her a little bit, knowing her arms like protocol, sort of calculating the perfect angle for this, as she just dashes forward, and one swipe with her scissor arms slashes down and quintsects it.
Yeah, you, with a single blow, you watch as it just, there is just a flash, and it is just rendered into chunks and can no longer ambulate itself. With that being said, that it is now the remaining veins' turn. One of them is going to spend 3 total, so 1, 2, 3, to move into this zone with you guys.
It's getting claustrophobic, dude.
Yup. The other one is actually going to make an attack from here, which is also going to reduce it by 3. But these can make Scarlet Spear attacks.
Understood.
So
those have chain, right? Oh no.
They have chain. They don't have the inherent +1 because they are not attached to Vex, though.
Oh, and that's a good thing.
That's a good thing it didn't. So, yeah, you watch as it, like, rears up and one of its branch-like vein appendages goes to do another strike, and it just into the water, and there is a splash of droplets up as it, as you deftly sidestep it, Lotus. Next up, it is Lotus.
She says something that she has said 1,000 times. This is going to hurt for a second, but I'm right here beside you, I promise. She takes in a sharp inhale. One of her arms sparks slightly, and she's going to do the same trick again. She is going to grab one mechanical arm, grabs another, grabs a third. And it is whipped in, trying to weave itself through the forest of veins and blood in order to hit and short circuit the spine. She knows it better than anyone else. This is a machine that she has constructed. This is a machine that she knows the weak points of, but it doesn't matter because people only ever see it once and never again. She hasn't bothered to patch it up. This is an unarmed attack 1 with stagger.
Make the roll and do your best to bring it to the body.
That
Right.
is...
To clarify, it needs to get to an 8.
That costs 2. I understand that needs to get to an 8. Hey, Quoth, can I get some help? No is fine. I may just arm vice
I've
myself.
already used I've used arm vice this count, and I've used my other support this count, and I don't have any more.
You try to, with this whip-like chain of arms, try to reach to the back of this spine and inject some kind of a signal. You suspect that even with as unstoppable as she seems right now, that is very much the weak point. But in her jerking motions as you see her, grasping what is clearly the head beneath all of this mess, it just goes past and you see it just kick up some more water. Quoth, it is your turn.
Yeah, well, I mean, if it ain't broke, this vein has very much, offered themselves up for slaughter. So we'll try this again. Well, probably not quite as good, but it's probably pretty good. See, look at that.
All right, yeah, that is a hit. I will, it is, it does not, even if it used its funny hinder ability that it has, it would not be enough to stop you from hitting. So you simply do 2 damage to it. You slice off 1/2 of the branch-like veins on it. And next up, it is, oh boy, it's a big turn. It's Vex, Lotus, and the veins. So I'll state the veins first. Veins are just going to be doing Scarlet spear attacks, as you may expect. Vex, what are you going to be doing? Because you feel this conflict inside of you. You realize that there is something more going on here, but you now see this, you see Olivia in front of you. She's got her back turned to you. That damn lab coat that she's always fucking wearing. And you can see that she's wearing some kind of mask. You've seen her in it a few times before, but with her back turned, you can't make out anything other than the way that it's kind of wrapped around her head in a way that obscures a lot of her features, if not all of her features. And you can do it. You can reach out. You could kill her now if you wanted to.
Vex will be swinging with everything she has once again towards the woman in the lab coat.
Okay, I will be fully honest. Lotus will not be taking an action. She is going to be guttering whatever happens to her.
Cool. Make your roll.
Yep, here we go.
Dude, have we seen a number from you that isn't like a 1 or a 10?
I don't think so. I don't
That
think
was
so.
a
think we've
2
seen-
from that D5 earlier.
Jesus Christ, holy fuck.
That is really bad considering who I'm fighting.
Yeah.
And who's in the zones with you?
So currently it's just hinder 1, right?
Yes, and that gets it to a crit fail.
She normally would be concerned about Quoth, but long ago she put in some software on the mask that makes it so that when something like this happens, it doesn't matter much. I am going to be using visual distortions.
Yeah, so you go for this strike, Vex, and you watch as there is this, strange effect that occurs, multiple after images. And what we see in the real world, suddenly Lotus moves in a way that somehow becomes ambiguous as multiple magenta silhouettes spread out around her as well for just a moment. And as this happens, your swing goes wide, and suddenly a leg is being brought down on your arm to once again redirect the blades into you. Take, oh god, again, 5 damage reduced by 1 if you want to use regeneration.
Is it possible to use, like, support or hinder maneuvers and shit like that in response to other support and hinder maneuvers?
Yes, do you remember that bullshit that happened in the Grow Tower with Hyde?
That's true. In that case, I will be using the forearm part to literally, I imagine the flavor of this is that veins wrap around Vex's arms to help guide her through these, like, distortions. I am going to support 1 to make that a 2 again.
And as she does this, not in a million years, she grabs more arms onto the blade, and there is I'm going to be using Dazzle Camo, as suddenly, from the low, delicate lights that she is used to, the entire area is ablaze with this beautiful, radiant white that fully disorients her, her eyes at least mostly attuned to the darkness. This is a hinder 2.
You go for the strike. You see the veins assist you, desperate to land a hit on what you perceive as Olivia, and it's suddenly as if from nowhere, you see that there is this sudden flash of just a million different colors being reflected from the purple and the green lights in the room, as Lotus's skin is suddenly as if it is this like hyper reflective amplifying force on any light that bounces off of her. And Vex, what you see in your haze is you go for this attack, and Olivia twitches her head just barely towards you, and there is a sudden flash of green plasma, and you feel could I have you please make a bloodthirst check? Roll me a d10. So you successfully manage to kind of like pull back a little bit, but it's strange. It's this instinct in you that you didn't know you had. This flash of green plasma that you see in your head. You've seen it before. You've experienced it before. Lotus, you watch as Vex suddenly, her head kind of twitches in this rapid way, as if experiencing REM sleep on an entirely like head level, as it is like rapidly going back and forth, and you use that as an opportunity to continue with what you were intending to do before, grabbing her arm and pressing it downward. Vex, what location are you taking that 5 damage to?
Well, I don't really have any good options.
I think the cyber spine is pretty good.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to get rid of anything on my head or my arms especially, so I think I'm gonna take 4 damage to the legs, defending 1 to bring it down. I'll get rid of charge. I will get rid of my junk part. I'll get rid of 1 bone and 1 foot.
Alright. Yeah, no, once again, through combined redirection, this time the blade is brought downwards into one of your legs. The high-frequency blade just tearing through just so much that's down there and making it a lot harder to move now. But you're still here, you're still kicking, and there is this feeling that washes over you of frustration. Once again, you kind of feel yourself internally kind of looking onward at what you now know is Olivia and Hope. And Hope kind of registers this blow, and there is this almost like pulse of red throughout your environment that you're in, as she kind of like panics and she goes, "It's not working. It's not working. We have to. I can't keep this up." And she is like clearly trying to kind of think on her feet, desperate to keep you safe. Right, we are at Lotus and the Veins initiative. So, as per usual with the Veins, with enemies in any situation, they announce what they're doing first. Unsurprisingly, that is going to be a Scarlet Spear coming at you, Quoth. No, not Quoth, sorry. Lotus, my apologies.
Alright. That's awesome. I'm super happy.
And we are not in the same zone. That's not good.
Mm-hmm. What will you be doing, Lotus?
I'm going to just be... Is it fine if I don't do anything so that I can be hindering this man?
You may. Yes, you, although...
Is that a spine thing?
Which hinder are you going to be using?
Like...
Because, that not all of them function at range, is the thing.
That's a point. I'm just going to bone to move... Oh, fuck, wait, no. The, AP is increased. No, that's the best plan that I have. And it's not a great one, but it's the one that I need to go with. Yeah, sure. I'll just bone. That's 4 AP, and that sucks, but what can you do?
Alright. So, you will be moving, so move yourself to the location you would like to go to. And it will be making its attack. Unfortunately, it is treated as being you are still treated as being at the range that you were at when the attack was made, so you're not going to be able to use your reactions. Not that it would matter, because you are now at negative initiative anyway. Here it comes.
Yes.
Oh boy, that is arms that is going to be hitting.
Okay. How much damage?
So yeah, that is 1 damage, but it is chain attack, so that is going to be a second attack coming at you. And that is a miss on that second one.
Alright, Savvy. I think that one's dislocating a shoulder.
Yeah, the spear just, it shoots out as you're moving, and you feel it just like drag across your scapula as you feel your arm just become that much more difficult to move.
God's sake!
So, Quoth, it is your turn.
Yes. I am pretty certain that I want Lotus to not die. So I'm gonna...
Oh, you're pretty sure on that?
I'm pretty sure on that, yeah. I'm 90%. Do you think Lotus could handle, one little brain while I, smack Vex with scissors?
I think that I don't have any other option.
That's fair. That's pretty rough. Because I can't, if I move, it's gonna, next round I'm going to be Omega bad.
Mm-hmm.
So, I am going to just, yeah, I'm just gonna scissor hands.
And I believe this is the one situation where Vex is currently is currently on negative, so will not actually be able to defend on the number 1 damage here.
Nope, I'm in the negatives now, so.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, make that roll.
Alright. Oh, that's no good.
Oh boy. Well,
boy.
Hey gang,
The taste of
that's
your
a
own
natural.
medicine.
Yeah.
That's a natural one, and for once, there is because everyone's at negative, there is legitimately nothing you can do about that.
Yep.
You need to damage an ally or yourself within range of your attack, and I believe that means it has to be you.
It has to be me. I get to choose the part, though, right?
You get to choose what location and thus as a result the part, yes.
Okay.
You will still need to make a dismember check, however.
I have a really funny defense against this.
Oh yeah?
Can I choose my legs, which automatically have defend 1?
Oh! Absolutely. Yeah, and that's an auto ability?
That is just during damage timing, you gain defend 1 for legs only.
Well, what do you know? There you go.
My crab legs.
Yeah.
We go a day without tasting our medicine.
I think what happens then on this occasion, you go in for a swing against Vex, and it's one of those situations of like, you have special cybernetics and chips and stuff to help you control as many limbs as you possess, but it's only going to be so effective. There's a lot of stuff that gets handled automatically, right? It's like its own kind of version of the petal system that Lotus has. And it's just one of those things where it's like, the rush of combat, you go to strike, and you just feel your hands clang against one of your own legs. Fortunately to no effect. But it is nonetheless it is not a strike that hits true. That means that we have one last thing to handle before we refresh initiative, because the veins do still have 1 AP. So I think it's just gonna be you know what? I think it's gonna be kind of costly, but it's gonna move into it's gonna move away. It is gonna get a good vantage point, and it just slithers away in the water. That is gonna cost it 4, putting it at -3. But it is just gonna get away so that it can't be hindered and can't be affected, if possible. Right. That means we're going to the next round of combat, gang. So, Vex, I believe you had that one bloodthirst cleared. You're gonna need to fill that up again. Same.
Yeah,
and
great.
for Quoth and Lotus, you also will need to gain that point of bloodthirst, as the decision to keep fighting does indeed get you just that little bit more kind of feral. And if everybody could please check if they have lost any AP from damaged parts, and then refresh themselves up to their maximum, of course taking into consideration the negatives on the initiative. Okay. So that has put Vex at 12, Quoth at 11, and Lotus at 8. So we have hit the new round of combat, where we are going to be having another fun little reveal here.
Great.
First of all, Vex, I'm going to tell you about 2 new parts that you're going to be getting, and you are also going to be able to regenerate a select amount of parts as well.
Oh boy.
So first of all, I will reveal, 1 second, a new head location part, Blood Rush, which is
Oh boy.
that is not. There we go. That's now displaying properly. So yeah, Blood Rush. That is a check timing 1 cost that you can only use on yourself to support 2. You feel the adrenaline. You feel
Why
hope.
against us?
You feel hope, panicking and looking for some way to counteract this, as you all hear Vex's heart, already audible, begin to take these even more long drawn out pumps, and you see that the veins and arteries that are bulging beneath Vex's skin kind of have this grotesque, like, rhythm to them, as you see that with each of those hard pumps, they are kind of shooting this wave of blood throughout her body. And the last part that you'll be getting is branching artery.
Oh my god, that's horrible.
Oh boy.
Oh no.
So,
Oh no.
That's really bad.
you see as the blood begins to pulse through Vex's body, and similarly to when you had lost your head more than a week ago at this point, you see that the blades that are sprouting out from your arms, you see these red, grasping sinew and tendons and ligaments start to kind of crawl up them a little bit, and there is this grotesque, like, pushing and, like, sound of gore as they begin to, like, push outwards. Eventually you feel them detach from the bones and the hinges that have set into your arms. Instead, snaking outwards from your forearms are now these two sinuous, vein-like whips, at the ends of which are the blades, still humming with that high-frequency lethality. As you can now make attacks with them at an additional +1 range, which is pretty nasty.
Christ.
And
Disgusting.
And last of all, as if that wasn't enough, Vex, you may pick. You know what? Make me a roll real quick.
Ooh, alright. Not great.
Hinder.
Not. This is a fate roll. You can't do anything
I
about it.
assumed.
You may select 2 parts to regenerate.
Well, I think...
And I will note that if you regenerate any of the veins on your head, and they get destroyed again, that will be additional bodies on the field again.
Because Savvy hates us.
I don't know what to tell you. It's a boss fight.
I know.
I think I'm gonna regenerate the bone I lost because I do not want to completely lose the ability to move. And I will regenerate one of those veins, yes.
Okay.
Quoth leading into Lotus. Though this baby bird has entered us, and we are supposed to help them. I don't know, man.
With that, we are back at the top of initiative. It is Vex still.
Yeah,
of course
well,
it is.
I want to try out this cool branching artery. I really do. But I think it would be best, and considering that she's the one right in front of Vex, I think she would go for it. I think she's just gonna power up her high-frequency module again and go for an attack against Quoth.
Right, and as you do so, I should note, by the way, there is something that goes on once again in this this internal place that you're in. You see, as Hope kind of like trying to think of something, panicking, thinking on her feet, she's like going, no, we can't, she's too good up close. That's not right, that wasn't,
it doesn't matter. I can't let that happen again.
And you see her kind of like almost bring her arms around her as you see these like looping, coiling arteries around her fingers start to spring up from the floor. As she kind of like pulls backwards, and you see all of these red growths start to kind of jut in from this strange white void that you're in, trying to get at Olivia in front of you. And you see Olivia begin to become a little bit clearer to you. You see, as she starts to turn around, that you can't see her face, because she's wearing, as she so often did, this full face mask. And the eyes are just these glowing green lights that look to you. Go ahead, Vex.
Alright, yeah, so I'll make that attack.
Go for it.
Okay, so I have a +1 to this, as usual. Well, it would seem with that low roll, I have no choice but to immediately use, the new part I got, Blood Rush, to support myself 2 to make that a 6.
Yeah. It's a check, so I could just do this whenever. I'll pay the 1 AP to Arm Vice and Hinder 2 there.
Okay, turning that into a regular old miss in that case. Okay, with that, Quoth, it is your turn. The veins are away from you. You're in the arena. I say the arena. You're in the same location with Vex still inside of the purple dome. You know that the control room is going to be probably your best bet here.
Yeah.
But that's going to be... I mean, I mentioned it, it's been risky the whole time, but again, that's up to you.
Plus I imagine right now that, like, what the miss looked like is that, like, this humming, buzzing, high-frequency, like vibrating blade is, like, inches from Quoth's head, it caught in her arm vice as she's just barely holding it up, you know?
She has to sort of bend her body in a weird way to dodge out of the way and grab the arm before the blade can strike her.
You actually register as that whip-like blade is coming towards you. You're like, uh-oh, and it is one of those things of... You know how to redirect attacks, especially with the high-frequency blade. Every time you've been using Vex's arms as the pivot point, and you are now instead having to use the grim, sinuous tendrils as the point where you latch onto now, knowing that if you grab the blade, it's just not going to be good news. But it is redirected nonetheless.
Yeah, she's definitely concerned about not only Vex, but these veins have been a problem, and she doesn't want to leave Lotus to go into the control room just yet until, at the very minimum, this vein is dealt with. But she currently has a bigger problem in front of her, so until Lotus can take care of the vein, or they, swap positions in some way, she's gonna keep doing her best. Yeah, do you want me to try and take care of this dang thing?
It's up to you. I think it'd be good, but
I'm gonna try and take care of this dang thing. This vein. So I am going to just move. Just regular old use my bones to pay 4 AP and move up here. And with the way she moves, presuming I'm not being hindered, I will then make an attack. I could attack Vex with this, genuinely, but I'm just gonna use my scissor hands to attack the vein.
Vex, you do indeed have Crimson Grasp if you want to use that, but you don't necessarily need to keep people in melee range anymore, after all.
That's true. I think I'm going to hold off for a particular reason.
Alright, make that attack against the Vein Serpent, if you will, Quoth.
Yes.
Oh my! The shoe is on the other foot. Is on the other foot.
It very much is. As she starts like crawling across the as she tries to start crawling across the floor, forgetting that she's halfway in the water, to get to this vein and make her attack, her leg gets caught in the way once again.
Yeah, once again, the one mitigated by your special leg defend property. But that still kind of sucks for you.
Yep.
Right. Vex and Lotus are on the same initiative of 8 next. So, Vex, if you would announce your actions first, and then Lotus can decide, and you will roll together.
Yeah, so I don't actually mind Quoth moving to where she did, because what I think I'm gonna do instead is turn towards Lotus, and with my new branching artery, I'm going to... Vex literally, like fucking Kratos, is just gonna, like, shriek, and, like, almost like she's, like, in a fucking drunken stupor, stumble around and, like, whip her arms towards Lotus, causing the scythes to just extend outwards towards her.
Of course. Alright.
Alright, let me do that. I will, support that with a forearm to make it a 6.
And I'm pretty sure... Lotus, do you have any ranged hinders right now?
Let me make 100% sure. Yeah, Savvy, I don't.
Oh boy. Alright.
I shouldn't be as happy as I am to have found a hole in your defenses.
No,
Well, yeah, no,
Iris.
Funny enough, once you are at range, pretty rough time for Lotus and Quoth is the thing. Yeah, so that is... So, now, Lotus, you will be able to choose where the damage goes, but correct me if I'm
But
wrong,
how much
Vex,
is it?
that is 3 damage, chain attack 2, so there will be even more attacks coming at
That's-
you in a moment.
That...
Oh, if it's that bad, I might have to do something.
If you can, I would appreciate it.
It is gonna
but I
cost.
can.
It is gonna cost me everything. I'm gonna be out of this round.
I can hop her out of the way.
Can you? Where? Because if you,
This is a new round.
I guess
Move 1.
that's true.
You can indeed
It's-
move out of... You would need to move to a location that is not within range 1 of Vex.
Yeah.
And I believe that this area would be. Yes?
That would, yeah, if you move to the other outer edge of this, then that would indeed negate that.
I think that that's just the only option that she has in this moment.
So, I'm fairly certain if you move out of the range of the attack, technically speaking, it is kind of, it's a little bit vague. I'm pretty sure you can redeclare who you were targeting by doing that.
Okay. With this knowledge, Quoth, do you want to... Okay. If I hop her, Quoth is going to get hit instead functionally. So do you just want to move in and deal with that, or no?
I mean, yeah, that's all I can do, because I cannot take 3 damage.
Okay.
Like, I have a lot of my parts,
There's...
I need them.
If you need me to, I can hop her into range instead, so that we can screw with her rolls more. But that has some obvious issues.
In the interest of helping you out of character, I will also remind you that if this hits, it's going to be more than 3 damage as well.
It's
Yeah.
going to
It's a
fuck
chain
her
attack.
up.
Yeah. Theoretically, you could hop her into range to hinder 1. I don't know.
Yes.
Because, how much does hopper cost?
0, actually.
So it would cost you 1. That's
Yes.
way more efficient than what I could.
It's way
buy
more
one.
action efficient, but also that's putting her in the jaws of the beast!
Scarlet, I know this is a tough situation, but the attack's coming in, you gotta decide if you're gonna go in with the hopper or if you're gonna leave with the hopper. You gotta make that choice. Are you gonna go balls to the wall insane, or are you gonna like let Quoth take the hit?
I think I'm going to hop her in.
Okay.
And that's really bad. But WCYD, you know?
With that, okay, so you hop her in. That does mean that you are still in range of the attack, meaning that we'll still
Yes.
be hitting you. Do you want to
Yes.
use a hinder now?
Savvy, it would be the worst mistake of my career to not.
All right,
this
let's see
one-
it.
On this one, I am going to use my foot, which is a 0 cost hinder 1.
Okay. You see Vex reeling up for this double whip, cross slash with these high frequency blades. and it is in the split second of like feral instinct that you're like, I have to move now, and the coiled springs within your legs activate and push you forward, and you like, I think you straight up like go under the 2 strikes as the 2 slashes hit the water where you were standing and kick up like this disproportionately large splash from the high frequency blades, just essentially misting a bunch of water, and you just plant your heel into Vex's like abdomen to just get her off balance a little bit so that she can't redirect them back towards you. You have successfully avoided that attack.
I have avoided the Scythe of the Grim Reaper.
Hey gang, welcome to the second break of this episode for the first time. We'll do the rest of the shilling this time around, and thank yous and such. Let's just jump right into the rest of this, why not? First of all, a reminder of my Patreon if you want to help out more directly, but also if you want to submit fan art, which will also be on screen once again, then you can do so over on either my Blue Sky, the same of eternal_savvy, and use the hashtag Heart of Hope if you want to help to get the word out as well, or on my Discord server where you can submit it to my fan art channel and also chat about the show with other people who are watching the show. We've got 1 or 2 people who have been live posting about it as they listen, which has been really cool to see, really fun as well. I love seeing people's reactions and seeing people's comments about what they like, about moments that they thought were cool. It has been very cool and awesome to be able to interact with that. You could even ask me questions over there if you wanted to, and also see a couple of things like the map of the city, which, I will be updating every time a week passes by in-game, which we will be getting our second week soon enough for that. And that's on my Blue Sky, on my Discord, and also, you can find me streaming over at twitch.tv/eternal_savvy as well. I am pretty much eternal_savvy everywhere, except for my VOD channel, which is staying_savvy. But my Twitch, that is where I do art, video games. I've been playing clown games lately, including stuff like Tightrope Theater, Penny's Big Breakaway. We've got Poco coming up. It's been a good time. I've also been playing Yellow Taxi Goes Vroom. If I'm not doing art or video games, we currently have another tabletop show currently in the works, although it's still probably at minimum like month or 2 away. A lot of setup going on. I'm still kind of trying to wait for certain people. Pretty much we're all busy at the moment, and we're just waiting on everyone to kind of get their ducks in a row before we can get that off the ground. But that will be the place to see it when that is going live. Also, if you want to help out the discoverability of this show, if you've been enjoying it, then there's a couple of ways you can do that. First and foremost, if you're listening to this on YouTube, then do us a huge favor, like, subscribe, and comment. It is a massive help to the algorithm, and I'm hoping that, we can maybe push to get me over 1,000 subscribers. We're currently around the 680 mark, it would be very nice to see that. And if you're listening to this on one of the podcast apps, whether that be Apple Podcasts or Spotify, or any of the other ones like Pocket Casts, all of that jazz, then be sure to download the episodes as well as rate it if it has a star system on there. Similarly, really, really helps out. But the biggest way that you can help is by talking about the show. That's right, word of mouth, baby. It's the most powerful form of advertisement. Go out and just talk to your friends about it if you're liking it. I hope that comes naturally one way or the other, but, don't force it by any means, but it does make a massive difference. We've already had a couple of people show up specifically for Heart of Hope in my server, which tells me that people have been talking about it, so thank you so much. It's super, super appreciated. And I think the last thing to say is thank you so much for listening. It is genuinely so awesome to see so many people enthusiastic about this little show that I've been creating. The cool roleplay that I get to do with my friends on a semi-regular basis, and I I'm glad to share it with you. So thank you so much for continuing to listen, for continuing to support. Yeah, I guess that's it. Thank you so much, and I'll let us get back to the episode. I hope you have a good time. Bye-bye.
I also want to say, because I don't want to interrupt, I am just going to follow and move over here.
Okay.
Okay.
Not into the same zone, just into the zone where the vent is, for no reason.
You know, for no reason.
For no reason. It cost me 0, it's fine.
You escaped the jaws of death once again.
Oh, it won't be the last time I do it either.
I'm getting that feeling, yeah.
Oh, and I will just hit you with a quick reminder, by the way, Vex. You do have access to your 2 rapid timing hinder ones of your own right now as well, thanks to the veins. Those have been refreshed.
That is true. I'll use those when Lotus and Quoth roll to do something.
Oh,
yes.
Speaking of rolling to do something, since I moved, I'm gonna attack that fucking vein again.
Your funny little ability. Yeah, go for it.
So I'll spend 2 to attack that vein, because I can attack the zone I enter or leave. There we go. Oh, praise.
They rolled for something.
Praise be.
Right, well, with that 9, that is just gonna hit, and it doesn't really have the ability to hinder you enough to stop that, which means that is a 1 damage doubled to 2, because it has the dismember quality against something that does not have locations.
Yeah.
It is just going to, damage... Yeah, it's just gonna damage its ability to move, and... I suppose... Yeah, you know what? It's gonna keep its Crimson Grasp intact, it's gonna keep its, vein part intact in the Scarlet Spear. So this thing can't, it just, definitively cannot do any movement anymore, but it is still, a presence on the battlefield, at the very least. With that said, we are at Initiative 7. It is the Veins and Lotus are working at the same time. The Veins are going to be attacking... I think they still have the instinct instilled from them when they were last snipped off of just, attack, quote, Olivia, who is currently Lotus right now. So, Lotus,
is.
that is just going to be a ranged 1 Scarlet Spear attack coming at you again. What do you do?
I'm really scared to say that my answer might be nothing. I think... I will voice effect. I will voice effect on Vex.
Okay.
That's 2. That also means that your Scarlet Speary boy can step up to the plate.
Alright, here's the roll.
Thank God.
It does not hit. It screeches through the air, but just barely kind of you feel the disturbance of the of pressure displacement next to your ear, but it does not hit. Alright, and you're just going to be doing some more singing, is that right, to try and reduce the bloodthirst?
Almost. Lotus, in the times where Quoth and her fight is the tactical brain of the 2, and despite Quoth never seeming to fully be there, she can tell when Lotus is at the end of her rope. This is the fastest that she has gotten to that in any fight that they have participated in. This walking calamity of medical science is going to keep mutating the longer we go on. I can handle myself. She looks back with a stare that to anyone else would betray all of the confidence she showed a moment ago. But Quoth is her sister, so how she takes it is up to her. Forefronting that, hoping that Vex cannot discern things, hoping that she cannot discern the words that are being spoken, the fact that she is being studied once again functionally. She swallows. She reaches for song lyrics. So said the people of apartment A, with nothing to do but eat food all day. So said the blocks of apartment B, spending lots of time, love, and money on me.
Alright. Could I get a conversation check from you, please?
That is just a D10, is it not?
It is.
Shit.
No. Vex, at this point, the frenetic panic that is overtaking Hope, that is overtaking you, that survival instinct, you just don't hear anything anymore, other than just the screaming desperation as Olivia continues to turn, and you see that she is wearing this high-tech bodysuit with each of its cyber traces highlighting the muscular structures that would underlie any given body, the biceps, the pectorals, the abs, but in matte black, like some kind of cutting-edge power suit. You see that she is covered head to toe and seems to have this lab coat on, almost to make her like appear more presentable, more human. And she kind of like reaches out towards you with one of her hands as Hope backs up and like interposes herself between you and her. And at this point, you are interrupted, Lotus, by Vex simultaneously yelling out what you hear internally, Vex, from Hope, which is just,
I'm not letting you kill her again, Olivia. I'll tear you apart.
and that same sentence is growled outward from Vex's own voice. And Lotus, that name is familiar.
The fear in her eyes, plentiful already, redoubles. In an instant, she digs her heel in further and abandons all of the kindness that she's given Vex so far.
Is that what all of this is about? Are you all trying to make an example of me? I've been the perfect little victim. I've done everything right. I haven't told anyone, and you still do this?
The realization that there is some shared vexation with this individual washes over you, Lotus. You realize suddenly that there is this sinister figure which this just goes deeper than you ever would have thought of. To think that this ended up at your doorstep is just unreal. But what else is there to do but to try and survive? Right. Next initiative. It is down to Vex, Lotus, and the Veins again. The Veins, unsurprisingly, are going to be going for another attack against you, Lotus. Vex, what are you doing?
I mean, certainly at this point, given these revelations and just she's right in front of her, I'm just going to be going for another attack against Lotus again.
I believe I'm going to Spine, which sort of kind of keeps me at 5. Hit it.
Alright, I'll do the Veins first, since that is probably for the best. That is going to be hitting your foot, your legs rather, if nothing is done about that.
I will break a bone. That's breaking a bone is worth more than the action points I currently have.
Okay, here comes the chain attack. That will be your torso. Another 1 damage.
Just for the sake of it, would you, because I can't do anything to stop Vex, would you prefer I do something to stop this guy?
Oh, yes, I would, if you can.
Yeah, because it will cost me 3 to move, but not 4, which means I can do things.
Now, you would then need to move, you would be further away from getting into the events again, is the thing. And you were just told by Lotus to get out of here and get to the control room.
Well, if you want to deny orders.
It's up to you though, Quoth. Up to you.
So, here's the thing. It will take me to next round to do it. However, I can move up, try and kill this thing, and take myself down to -1. And then on the next round, I can just rocket pack and move 2.
Now, I do have to ask, do you still have a rapid move
you're right.
now?
I don't have a rapid melee, I guess.
A rapid move, rather, is what would matter here.
I haven't used wire reel.
Oh, true. Right.
So I wouldn't be able to hinder this down to a failure, unfortunately. So I think what I am going to do is I'm just going to rapid move up here and attack and just hope for the best as opposed to hindering it.
Go for it, make your attack.
I think I got it.
Oh boy! If you support that, you actually will be able to just cut it apart completely.
I would love to, but moving takes me down to 1. Attacking takes me down to -1.
Well, so here's where I have to regret to inform you that because these things have 5 HP total, which means
was this one undamaged?
This one was undamaged before, and so you got it down to 3 parts. But with your 1 damage doubled to 2, it is put to 1 left, and it would keep its Scarlet Spear so it can continue the attack.
That's unfortunate.
You move up and you go to slice into it, but unfortunately it is not enough. And that branching strike from the 2 Scarlet Spears lands into your foot and 1 into your stomach. Take that 1 damage to your body, please, to your torso.
That'll be my entrails.
Vex, would you like to make that attack with your scythes, please?
Olivia! She lurches forward and, dragging her scythes through the water, the now just corroded, muddy, bloody water, she sweeps them up towards Lotus.
Oh no.
That is a 9.
Let me check something.
What is the maximum amount that you can hinder right now?
Which part is Unstoppable Bloodlust? Which part is Rampage?
Oh, you mean the one where she follows up with 1 billion attacks?
Oh, is that not
That's an ability.
That's a skill.
That's a skill.
I can arm vice. So, you would be attacking with, like, capital E everything, right? If you hit this?
I don't know.
You don't know. Okay. So, follow-up question.
I don't have to tell you that, officer.
What weapons do you have? There's Scarlet Spear, I know.
I'll say it out loud for the sake of everyone listening. So yeah, the parts that Vex has that are capable of attacking are Fist, Scythes, which are currently being used, High Frequency Blade, Scarlet Spear, and the Jaws also have, you can bite, you know.
Does that cost any action economy?
Yeah, so like, Unlimited Destruction is if you have hit and damaged with an attack, you may choose to use Unlimited Destruction to immediately use every other attack maneuver on your character, basically at instant speed. Even if you would be put to, let's say, -1 by 2 of your attacks and you still have 2 left over, normally you wouldn't be able to keep going. But Unlimited Destruction lets you do all of them and just not worry about it. It's why it's crazy.
Yeah, it's like taking an entire round's worth of turns right then, like all at once. There have been a lot of situations where it's just not the best idea to do it, or I can't do it for whatever reason.
So, Savvy, I have the answer for it. So, I believe Visual Distortions is Hinder 1, cost 0.
We're down to 8.
Dazzle Camo is Hinder 2, cost 0.
Okay, we're down to 6.
I used my foot, I believe.
You have indeed used your foot.
I'm going to Arm Vice specifically costs 0 with my spine. Yes? Or is that actions very specific?
It just says 1 during this turn, which means round, so like, yeah, it can be whatever you want.
Okay. I'm going to... Final answer. I am going to Arm Vice for 0. I am going to Dazzle Camo for 0, which reduces it to a 5. So it misses, correct?
Correct. Lotus, you watch as all of a sudden there is this shift in Vex's actions. It's one of those things which is like the disturbing innocuous nature of it makes it all the more threatening, all the more scary. You hear the click of the high frequency turn off. And thus, all of a sudden, you watch this agility with one of her whip blades kind of like restored to it that you didn't realize was missing. And just a regular blade is sent towards you. A blade that's looking for an opening. You know if it lands that it's gonna be worse than... It's going to be so much worse. And it's with that you just know you have to stop it from landing on you. You trip your dazzle camo, you go to grab it, and sure enough, you once again, similar to what Quoth did, grab the sinuous arteries that are extending the range of this blade, and just prevent it from slicing into you. Lotus, it is your turn.
You know when you make a mistake and you're overcome with shame as a hollow, cold static climbs across your body and it hurts in a way that very few things do? What Lotus is going through is like that, but it's pulling her in every direction. There are two people. She needs to get on their side. This is an assassination attempt, and I need to save my own life. She knows she can't do that. She's not fast enough for escape and not built for combat. Her rational mind wins out just this once, and she hugs Vex despite her odd position because it's the closest that she can get to her. Every arm moves and wraps around the chair still attached to her spine. If I short-circuit this, she thinks, will I live? I'll be using Electrigger.
Well, shit. Are you doing anything to support that, or anything of the sort?
I believe that I am going to use my forearm, which, due to one of my skills, is a 0 cost, as in. So it helps. Jesus, I'm jittery. I'm sorry. It's an 11.
Which means that it will be a crit, which will simultaneously give it +1 damage, and you will get to choose where it goes. Now, I will...
However...
yes, you have some stuff you can do here, Vex.
Yes, I have 2 broken veins that I can use to hinder shit with. I, unfortunately, well, fortunately for you, do not have my foot. So I can only take it down from an 11 to a 9 using the 2 broken veins. But a 9, I don't know where that hits, but hopefully it's not the cyber spine.
A 9 is your arms, that would be. So, Lotus, Electrigger is how much damage? Just the 1?
It is only 1, but it staggers.
So, Vex, if you use Defend, that will be a 0 and the stagger will not take effect.
Oh no, really?
Mm-hmm.
They have immune to...
I'm immune to stagger anyway, but yeah, I'm still gonna defend.
I thought it was only movement. That's my bad.
Yeah, you think all this while going to hug Vex, and her hands just come up and grip your wrists tightly, her nails digging into your flesh.
And as each of your additional arms attempts to continue to grasp at Vex, additional veins sprouting from Vex's head go and wrap around each of the individual wrists that are sprouting from your back, and in naught but seconds, the 2 of you are in this strange, multi-limbed, grotesque embrace.
She blinks, looking into Vex's eyes with picturesque fear that, in her mind, she thinks is finally deserved. She has placed the thumb drive around Vex's neck.
Right. The veins go to make an attack against you and miss. Once again, it is you and Vex. Vex, are you going to be going for another scythe?
Oh, I'm thinking so, yeah.
Lotus, what will you be doing?
I will be doing nothing. I will just be hindering that to the best of my ability. But I don't think that I can live.
So, let's double check. You've used your arm vice. You've used dazzle camo. You've used your foot. You've used hopper. You've used visual distortions. Literally all you have left is petal because it is usable an infinite number of times.
The good news is that no matter which attack I use here, I am just using the regular scythes because I think that makes the most sense. I cannot use unlimited destruction unless my action point count is more than 0, and this puts me to 0. However, the scythes themselves have chain attack, so if this 9 is hitting, then I will make another attack.
That hits on the head, right?
It's the arms. Right?
A 9 is the arms.
It's almost even worse.
Do you want to use petal or no?
How much damage did the scythes do again? I'm sorry to ask.
Just the 1, but it has chain attack.
I will take it and hope she rolls worse.
Okay. That is 1 damage to your arms.
God, there are no good options.
I don't know. Is Electrica really doing anything for you? They're immune to stagger.
It is the only attack that I have that can conceivably hit the cyberspine. I'm going to sacrifice my extra arms for this one.
Okay. The first blade slices through several of your artificial arms, now preventing you from using so many of them that you can just, like, chain them together into strange attacks. You still have extra arms, but they have been significantly culled. Vex, make your follow-up attack.
Alright, here we go. That is a miss for sure.
That is a 4. That is a miss, but even with you used petal.
That is not a crit fail, I understand.
Yep.
Nope, it's not that low.
Fortunately, the second whip blade comes in. Once again, the HF module deactivated to make them a little bit more agile, a little easier to control, but you manage to just barely pull yourself out of the way. The two of you separate from that embrace now. Lotus, it is your initiative. Yeah, it is your initiative. Is there anything you would like to do?
I can't Electrigger that man over there, so I believe that I'm going to spine and see what he rolls.
All right.
I'm going to posture as though I can do anything.
This will be hitting your foot.
Second bone, please, waiter.
Here's the follow-up. Oh, would you look at that?
Oh, and I'm in his zone.
Yeah, so what happens this time is another spear slams into your leg, your other leg. The other one reels back to do a second attack incoming, and Quoth, you realize that this is your moment, and in that split second where you realize you have the barest of moments, I think you just cut it to pieces in a flash.
Yeah, she just takes her scissor hands and makes a single slash.
Yeah, I imagine that the vein spears outwards, but the camera just sees it, like, fly, not into, but just against Lotus, as it's just been, like, severed by the scissors that just come into frame.
We are somehow hitting the next round of combat. Everybody please refresh your action points and gain a bloodthirst. Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Vex.
Open us up.
You...
Hey, what's up?
First of all, could you please make me a d10 roll, Vex? A fate roll.
Yep.
You may choose to regenerate 3 parts this time.
Alright, I think I'm gonna get the charge back. I am gonna get my foot back. And just one of my 2 entrails, yeah.
You watch as Vex, with this brief pause, once again you see various parts of her body begin to regenerate, to repair themselves. But something else comes with it, Vex. You feel yourself being repaired once more. Hope pulling at the red strings that are within this strange landscape, pulling at the roots that are beneath you. And this sudden pang of hunger hits you as that happens. And you realize that this is not necessarily an endless supply of regeneration that you have, though it is most certainly the type of thing that appears as such. Hope kind of looks upward, now kind of seeing in front of you Olivia the subject of all this hatred, and she kind of like, you realize at this point that she is actually like crying from anger and can't see straight. You realize that there is just nothing within her that is allowing her to see sense. The bloodthirst overtaking her, and it is your turn.
Beneath this anger, this hunger, this bloodthirst, this deranged haze, I think that Vex is just in pain. It's all just pain at the end of the day, and I think that, like, almost going back a little bit to her, like, normal voice for a second, there's just a moment where she's like, what's happening? But as she says that, she is lifting her sights again. I'm once again, this time humming up the high-frequency module again, going to attack Lotus. Make that roll. That is an 8.
That is an 8. Lotus, that will be hitting your torso if you do nothing about it.
Alright, you know what? I'm going to keep it very simple. She sees the blow coming for her. Pedal, foot, 2 AP. I am going to have that be a 5.
It is, I should mention at this point, we've been doing very granular stuff. In the grand scheme of things, watching this from the outside, it is this continuous flurry of some of the most, like, lethal looking and targeted attacks just being directed towards you, and the two of you ducking, weaving, grabbing, redirecting. If anyone else were here, if any regular person were watching this, it would be this terrifying display of exactly what it means to be a dredge in this city. To be so phenomenally skilled at combat that when being faced against a truly inhuman beast, that you could still hold out your own. And all the same, blood pools throughout the water. Quoth, what do you do?
Quoth is in this sort of haze, muttering to herself line after line of her strange poetry, but none of it is connected. She's saying one stanza of one poem into another of a different one, but seeing that Lotus and Vex are now in this standoff without any other ways of them being interfered with, she takes her chance. And I'm going to use Rocket Pack and crawl across the ceiling, and I can move too. So I'm going to crawl straight into the vent and into the control room.
Oh, but what's this? That's not Hopper, the part that cannot be hindered. I'm gonna go ahead and use Crimson Grasp to stop you from moving.
How much hinder is that?
Hinder move 1.
Ah, I can move here then.
You can get there, but not into the vent. I literally, a vein suddenly, like, in the midst of this blinding, like, impossible to follow confrontation between Lotus and Vex, a vein sees you moving and just of its own accord shoots out and grabs your leg.
You are literally, like, for enough of a moment that it stops you from just going, you are tethered to Vex as the initial blast of your jet air subsides by the time you can wrest your leg from her grasp. And at that point, you still manage to get into the vents, but you only just barely manage to drop yourself outside of the control room.
She, slices the remains of the tendril off of her. And Rocket Pack costs me nothing, so I'm going to then use a regular movement and pay 3 to just go into the control room proper this time.
Okay. You move into the control room, and you see the various stuff there. There's the as mentioned at the beginning, you can lock the door for 1 AP, drain or flood the room for 2 AP. There's the alarm, which is kind of redundant at this point. Lights on or off, and last of all, the electrocution, the electricity. You see that there is a post-it note, a little note that's been put there by your sister, which says in just lovely calligraphy handwriting, "Hi Quoth, remember, 1 for disinfection, 2 for days, 3 for disposal."
and there's like a little drawn chibi face with a peace sign and like a heart around
There
it.
literally is. I'm so happy.
So yeah, no, to be clear, it is the same amount to activate. When it comes to your turn, it will just be a 2 AP thing to do it. The first setting for disinfection is literally just a stagger that hits everyone without question who is in the water. The second setting is a -5 AP and 3 damage to anyone who is in the water. And if you successfully reduce somebody below to 0 or lower action points with that 5, they will be knocked unconscious, which will end the fight. If it's Vex that you manage it for.
Yeah.
The final option, disposal, I will present it to you, even though I doubt it's what you want right now. And last of all, the 3 for disposal. That one is a -8 AP stagger, but more importantly, is just it's just 5 damage to anyone who is in the water automatically, and that can just obviously be activated multiple times. I don't think you probably want to do that, but we'll see.
Just kill Lotus, yeah.
Just kill Lotus, you know?
Yeah, that's what I want, yeah.
No. I'll let her out.
Vex, it is your turn.
Well, she's failed to keep the other one from escaping, but the one using this these irritating parts that I believe she recognizes is still right here in front of her. So, disabling the high frequency for just a moment, she it's this weird mix of brute force, sheer strength, berserker movements, but also there's this weird, partially because of her latent instincts, but probably mostly because of whatever other force is within her. There's enough presence of mind to have some tactics, and she disables the module for a moment and just starts aiming these quick cuts towards you to just unbalance you, as I'm gonna try to hit you with the scythes. That's another 9.
Vex is rolling good.
That's another 9. Iris, can you start rolling bad soon? If I hypothetically move out of range, that doesn't matter because the scythes currently still have increased range, correct?
Correct. However, I will note that you probably at this point know what's coming, and you probably don't want to be in the water right now. If you move to a purple zone, you will be out of the water.
Okay, that makes things a little bit more complicated.
Stay here with me.
Will she be able to never-ending destruction and still absolutely fuck me if this does manage to hit?
So long as she hits and damages you, then yes, she will be able to do unlimited destruction.
In the control room, Quoth hears, "Give me a countdown and I'll get out when it's a necessity!" Because she can't. Moving away is not an option that she has. She needs to stay close. She needs to make sure that these attacks do not land.
Mm-hmm.
I will be doing Petal. I will be doing Dazzle so that it fails.
All right. Yeah, you do so. Once again, the vague nature of your position and your the remaining multiple arms that can act on their own, you once again circumvent what may very well be a lead into a much more dangerous attack. We, I believe, are on the cusp of the final thing here, but to be clear, we are currently on initiative 7. Everyone is acting. The only way to knock somebody out is by reducing them to 0, and that second setting only does -5. You could use the more lethal setting. It is up to you. Either way, Vex, what are you doing? You need to announce it. I assume just attacking.
Yep, I'm going to be attacking Lotus with the high frequency module again. Now that she's used up some of her techniques on the weaker hits, I'm gonna be trying to go for the more powerful one.
You clever little sneak!
as for you, Lotus and Quoth, Quoth, I feel you're probably the more important thing here. Do you want to just use lethal, or do you want to wait? 2 action points, 2 action counts.
Well, I have a really important question. Vex's high-frequency blades cost 2, right?
3.
3. Would them using their attack take them down, and then they would get hit with the -5?
You can hold your turn with Spine to go down 1 count to let Vex actually hit the 4 count, and then you can just do it.
You know what? That sounds great.
All right.
And Lotus, I can only assume you're using those good old jumps, those hops, to get the fuck out of the water.
I'm going to use that when and only when Quoth says it's about to happen.
Okay. In which case, it looks like we're going to be hitting the final roll here. Vex, could you please make your attack?
Yep.
Holy shit! Okay. No. So that's a natural crit. That is a natural crit because of your +1.
Yeah, and I'm gonna blood rush that to make it a 13.
Lotus, what do you have for a 13?
I'll tell you, what once became a countdown issue is pushed forward a little bit in importance. I am going to use Pedal, I'm going to use Arm Vice, that reduces it to a 9. That's still very bad.
Okay!
So, that'll be going off against my arms, correct?
Yes, so you hinder that 13 down to a 9, which means 3 damage to your arms. That means you are breaking your forearm, arm vice, and elect trigger. And Vex, make that follow-up attack.
Vex has never used this new part before this moment, but so deep and all-consuming is just her anger that even as she dashes through Lotus, tearing through a good portion of her defenses, she then just digs the scythe into the, past the water into the pool itself, and there's a metallic screeching and a shower of sparks as she turns mid-dash, and with her free scythe just slashes again.
That is an 8.
That hits entrails, correct?
That would be hitting torso, yes.
I don't think that I can reduce it.
Alright.
I think that I have gone through... Wait a second.
You've got Petal,
No.
That's it.
Yeah, you've used everything. Also.
Yeah, Pedal. Okay. Yeah, I pedal, and that's... I put the pedal to the metal, and that's all I can do.
Okay, which would reduce it to a 6, if I'm not mistaken. So you will be able to pick where it goes.
This is 3 damage. Dazzle camo. Voice effect. Jaw.
Okay. Vex, make your final attack.
Alright. With the +1, that is a 6.
And with pedal, that's a failure.
It is in this final moment, this pivotal moment. You know Quoth is in the control room. You've told her, just count it in. But before the countdown can even begin, you see one of the whip-like blades coming in, and it is landing true. You see that it is going directly for your head, your chest. It is lethal. It is in the blink of an eye that you manage to put all of your remaining arms in the way, and the whip takes that opportunity and wraps around all of them, putting them together like wheat being tied off to be cut from the ground. And just as it does, it slices through all of them. A absolute litany of splashes as all of these different arms, both flesh-colored and coal black and metallic, spark and land into the water. And it is with that you feel yourself drawn inwards, and Vex is right up next to you. The second scythe blade retreated back into her arm, back into its hinge to give it that additional lethality. It drives upwards into your head, through your jaw, through your voice box. You feel the chips that keep that strange magenta afterimage functioning explodes as it just cannot hold out anymore. And it is as that final strike comes in that you just barely see as one of the arms that is falling in slow motion in the air, still barely enough energy to function, grasps onto that still tendril-like whip and just pulls it ever so slightly off of its target. And it is in that moment that you realize it's now or never. And I assume you use your hopper.
I believe that using hopper would be wise, yes.
Lotus asked for Quoth for a countdown, and in the most Quoth way possible, she says,
Purgatory is the river. The sinners are dragged down along the winding air veins. Hell breathes ecstatically awaiting new souls.
As she electrifies the pool.
You see this jet of water follow in your wake. It is in these last moments, this slow motion, that you see the electricity, the coils in the various corners of the room. You know where they are. You know where to keep the eyes out. You see them glowing underneath the water. And you see the arcs of electricity begin, like Lichtenberg patterns, to snake their way across the liquid that Vex is submerged within. And it's just as your foot is leaving that solid jet stream of water behind you, that you see that telltale flash of light and the thunk and crash of electrical coils connecting. And Vex, all of a sudden, it all goes dark again.